right, here we are for Wheelock chapter 16, and we are doing the adjectives of the third declension, essentially. They're adjectives. Some of them have 3 endings, some 2 endings, some 1 ending. That's less confusing than it sounds. So let's take a look first at adjectives of 3 endings. And all these charts are on page 132 in Wheelock. So ocker means sharp or bitter, fierce, keen, severe, sharp, all those words. And you see it has 3 different nominatives. It has one for masculine, ocker, one for feminine, ochrus, and one for the neuter, ocre. But from there, there's really only one set of endings. I'll show you what I mean. So the genitive in ochrus, same for masculine and feminine, and neuter. Ocre, the dative, also the same, masculine, feminine, and neuter. The accusative is what you would expect in the third declension, ocrum, from a masculine or feminine noun. But of course in the neuter, remember, all neuters, the accusative is the same as the nominative. So that doesn't throw us. And then the ablative singular also is what we would expect from third declension endings. So this is an adjective that will describe a noun and agree with that noun in gender, number, and case, just like usual. And let's look at the plural for this as well. So the same thing, it's just what we would expect from third declension endings. Ocres, ocrium, ocribus, ocres, ocribus. And then in the neuter, it's like an I stem third declension noun. Ocria, ocrium, ocribus, ocria, ocribus. So nothing out of the ordinary there, really, except for this feminine nominative singular. But those are called adjectives of 3 terminations, or adjectives of 3 endings. And that's because it has 3 different nominative singulars, a masculine form, a feminine form, and a neuter form. But from there, it's really following the nice third declension patterns that we already know. Now let's look at adjectives of 2 endings. So all that's happening here is that the masculine and feminine share all their forms. But the endings are the same that we just saw, and the neuter endings are the same. So again, that's not going to throw you. Nice, normal third declension endings. Is, e. Well, I guess that's a little different, isn't it? That ablative forte, don't let that fool you, right? And the nominative again, in the neuter again, the accusative, same as the nominative. Again, the plural, ace, eum, ibis, ace, ibis. In the neuter, just that characteristic fortia in the nominative, which of course is repeated in the accusative. And then we have adjectives of 1 ending. So all the forms are the same, except for these forms in parentheses that are the neuter forms. So potens, potentis, potenti, potentum. But of course, the neuter accusative will be the same as the nominative, as always. Potenti in the ablative. Potentes, but we have this characteristic neuter form, potentia, in the nominative. If it's there in the nominative, it will of course be there in the accusative. So the endings of these adjectives are really endings you already know. You just need to get them in your head now as adjectival endings. And remember, adjectives agree with the noun they modify in person, number, and case. So, omnis amicus, every friend, is what that means, every friend. And it's masculine, masculine, singular, and nominative. Masculine, singular, and nominative. And amicus, that's a masculine, singular, nominative ending in the first declension. Omnis is the masculine, singular, nominative ending in the third declension. So it's not going to be, if this were Magnus, it'd be Magnus. And the endings would be the same, which we always like. But omnis, or the word we were just using, we could use, potens, a powerful friend. That's the masculine nominative singular ending. So it agrees with amicus. Here's acre bellum, a harsh war, a severe war. This is nominative or accusative in the neuter, singular. This is accusative or nominative, neuter, singular. Another, potentis reginae. That's genitive, singular, feminine, reginae. This is genitive, singular, feminine, potentis. And all these other examples are the same, and there are many more examples on page 133 if you want to look through those. But so it's the same thing that we've had with other third declension nouns. Now we have the same kind of endings on adjectives, and so they can modify. They can modify third declension nouns like this in omne urbe, or they can modify nouns in the second declension, acre bellum, a harsh war. Okay. So again, nothing new grammatically, just new forms. Just new forms we already know about adjectives. All right, let's take a look at the vocabulary is straightforward. Well, let me show you one thing about the vocabulary. So if you will look on page 134, you'll now see these adjectives will be listed in the vocabulary. So I'm looking about the middle of page 134, middle of that vocabulary list. We see this, dulcis dulce, that means sweet, and it shows you two forms for that adjective. So then you know it's a two-termination adjective. Let's see if they give us another three-termination adjective. Let's see, do they? Well, of course, we've got the one in our form, acre, acris, acre. Oh, there's the next one is swift, keller, kelleris, kellera, means swift. So there's three terminations, so you know it's declined like acre. Okay, so that's how they'll be listed in the vocabulary. All right, let's take a look at this translation. Fortes viriet feminae, so typo. Ante aetatem nostrum vivebant. Where is the verb? Which one of these endings is an ending you know from verbs? It's vivebant, vivebant, vivebant. And that bant ending tells us right away, we know right away we're in the imperfect tense, indicative mood, active voice. It's third plural. And so it's they lived. Who lived? Is there a nominative to serve as the subject? Yes, there is. We see weary at feminae, men and women. Men and women lived. So there's the skeleton of our sentence. Is there an accusative? Well, men and women lived. This isn't the kind of noun that takes an accusative, is it? Men and women lived. That doesn't take a direct object. It's an intransitive verb. So we've got nothing to look for there. So we're going to work through the rest of our sentence. And our first word here, fortes. Well, this is one of our new adjectives, meaning strong or brave. But we'll just use strong. Fortes viri et feminae. Fortes is nominative plural. So it agrees with viri and feminae. It's masculine because when boys and girls are together, you use the masculine endings. So strong men and women lived. Okay, and now we've got a prepositional phrase. Ante aetatem nostrum. Ante means before. It takes the accusative. Remember, every preposition takes a particular case. So when I say si ante, I know an accusative is going to come next. Ante aetatem nostrum, before lived. I guess we'd put that after that in English, wouldn't we? Strong men and women lived before our age, before our time. So strong, great men and women, strong men and women lived before our age. Okay. So that's it for chapter 16, just a set of endings for these third declension adjectives.